Hey guys, I'm Kai from Lucas Landon Worlds. Hope you're doing well. And as you can already see from the title and thumbnail, we're gonna go outside of the norm and do something a little bit different. So I got a request from somebody whose name I will not mention, Shane Kelly, and he or she may or may not be on social media and have a YouTube channel. But this person asked how I go about creating my egg cutting videos, the lightings, my setup and things like that. So I decided to make a video of it, and to keep things interesting, I'm gonna do it on a budget, which is pretty much what I do anyway. I did get some gear along the way, but ultimately reverted back to my low budget method. Now, if you're here just to see snakes, don't worry, this is an egg cutting video. Use the bar down below and skip to the egg cutting part if you're not interested in how I make videos. But if you are and you want to see how I do it, well, let's get started. For lighting, I have a bunch of utility lights that's already installed in my basement, so I just went along with it and continued using the same fixture. Doesn't really matter what kind of fixture you use. What really matters is the color spectrum of the light bulbs. Now, my utility lights use these fluorescent strips, okay? And when you go to a store to buy light bulbs, make sure you get the whitest color possible. Stay away from things like yellows and soft whites and bronze. I don't know why anybody would buy bronze color light, but they do make them. They have colors, they have greens and reds and blues, but stay away from all those. You want the whitest color lights. And usually they come in labels saying cool white or daylight. Now, cool white and daylight is what I use, and I really don't see much of a difference. I do actually have both of them. Like I said, I don't see much of a difference when it's on the camera. When you put the two lights side by side, you do see a little bit of a difference. I think the cool white is more on the bluer side, where the daylight is a little bit more on the yellower side. But regardless, they look almost identical when you have it on camera. So the color of the light is important. What else is important is the direction of the light. You don't want the light to come at the camera, and you certainly don't want the light to be behind you. What you want, I think works best for me, is have the light directly above the table where I am doing the egg cutting. Now, speaking of tables, I actually bought a couple tables, different sizes, and they all fold away. But I did find it being a little bit tedious in the long run to have to take them out, put them away, take them out, put them away. Now, if you have a table that's already set up that you can always leave out, by all means, go about doing what you're doing. But for me, I just found it a little bit time consuming and tiring to have to constantly move the tables in and out when I want to do my egg cutting. So I have a very low budget tabletop. I use about 2 to 4 buckets. These are the same size as the ones you can find at Home Depot and Lowe's. Then I use a styrofoam board. These you can get at a craft store. For color, I like to use poster boards. They come in a variety of different colors, but I find that black tends to work best. So that was pretty low tech. And speaking of tech, let's talk about the electronics. Now, you probably think I have some fancy camera that I'm using to make all these YouTube videos, when in reality, I'm just using the phone camera. So I have a Samsung Galaxy S10, and the camera on it is pretty high quality, to be honest. In fact, the one that's on my old phone, which is the Samsung Galaxy S8, wasn't bad either. So I kept this rather than trading it in, because I wasn't going to get much credit for it anyway, because it has a tiny, tiny little crack in the corner. But regardless if I get money or not, I like to keep it. So this is my Samsung Galaxy S6, which I also kept, because you know what? It's nice to have multiple cameras. That way you can make videos with multiple angles. And I like doing that, especially on egg cutting videos and any videos really that involve my kids, because I just like to be able to see the expression on their face as well as whatever the thing I'm doing. So I need multiple angles. It's just good to capture those moments when you can share it with your kids. So having multiple angles certainly makes the video more interesting. Now, in the beginning, I did mention that I had purchased some gear in the past. So let me talk about that real quick. So I think I paid probably $68 or something like that for a kit. Now, that kit came with a stand like this. This is the short one. The bottom expands. It's a little tripod. The top elongates, and on the tip here, you can attach a light fixture that also came in the kit. on that light fixture, what also came in the kit are like 4 of these umbrellas, 2 white and 2 black. I think the white one is used for diffusing the light. The black one is used to focusing the light, because on the inside of the black one is like a metallic material, so it kind of reflects the light and focuses it. I don't really use these. I mean, my room is kind of small anyway, so having like 3 of these umbrellas just takes up all the space, and I just can't work like that. So it came with 1 of these short ones and 2 of these longer ones. Same as a short one, but they're just longer. These go up to, I think, 4 feet. And there you can see the attachment for the light bulb as well as the light bulb itself. All of this came in the same kit. I also have a little tripod that the phone attaches to, but I left that in the car. However, I don't use that for these egg cutting videos. Instead, I use my DIY tripod. It's pretty much a selfie stick that I tried to attach to the lumber right there in the center. Didn't work out too well. Ultimately, I just used a clamp and clamped it to the side. Now, as for the base, it's just 3 pieces of smaller scrap lumber screwed together. And then right here, I used that to hold up my laptop, but that's not relevant to making an egg cutting video. And so that's pretty much it. Now, before we get to cutting open those eggs, let's do a quick little recap. For lights, I'm using 2 4-foot long strip lights because you want plenty of light, and the color of the light should be white. And I have a makeshift table that I showed you, so that's pretty easy to set up. I can put that wherever I want. The key is to put that table directly under your light. Now, I don't want to say all the gear is useless, because there are times where I want to film and set up in an area that doesn't have adequate light. And these definitely come in handy. So you can probably get a kit like this for between $60, $80, maybe even cheaper, and they do work. Also, if you feel like you want to invest in a high quality camera, nothing's stopping you. I'm just letting you know that I'm doing all of these videos on my Samsung Galaxy S10 and Samsung Galaxy S8, sometimes S6. So now that you know all about my setup, let's go ahead and cut some eggs. All right, now the fun that is egg cutting. And you can see a couple of them have pipped. It's only 4 eggs. 2 pipped, 2 didn't. Their heads did pop out. All I saw was like the very, very tip of their nose. So I don't even know what's in them. And that's gonna be pretty exciting. Let me get these out of the way. We'll move the tray. All right, this way when I cut, oh, did you guys see that? Did you guys see that little guy come out? All right, so since he's so eager to come out, we'll start with this one. What could this be? There we are. So I'm just riding the scissor along the top of the egg so that I don't accidentally cut the baby. And if you do see a little bit of blood, that's okay, because these babies are ready to come out, and nicking those blood vessels inside doesn't harm them at all. Woohoo! Check that out. So you do see a little bit of the remaining yolk right there. That should be absorbed probably sometime today, tonight, because obviously it's ready to come out since it pipped already. So that's that. And if you hear some pounding noise in the background, that's probably my kids upstairs playing around with their toys. They kind of just finished the schoolwork for today, so we'll have to try to drown that out with some background music, I guess. But there it is. So not a pied, unfortunate, but still a very bright animal. All right, let's move on to the other one that pipped. Again, we'll just use the slits that it already made. I'll ride the scissors around the top. Come on. Come on, this doesn't look like a pied either. So again, the pairing is a fire pied to pastel extreme gene clown. So I have no idea why I'm looking for pieds in here. We're not going to hit any pieds because we don't have pied on both sides. All of these are going to be double hets for clown pied. And the codoms we're looking for are fire, pastel, and extreme gene, and hopefully I can hit all 3. So this one definitely looks like a pastel. Pastel firefly, I'm guessing. Check out how blushed out that head is. So that might be a pastel firefly. We'll know more once it comes out, and I'll be able to see the dorsal, see if there's any blushings on the dorsal to kind of confirm that's a firefly with pastel and fire. Let me take a look at this one again. Oh man, I thought the head was kind of at the top where we could see it, but it decided to scoot underneath. But right now, oh, there it is. You can see its little mouth right there, or his nose, I mean, and those white lips. So I think that has to be pastel. Not sure if it is extreme gene or not. Doesn't look bright enough to be a fire. All right, moving on. So this one did not pip, and the ones that don't pip are the ones that are going to have a little bit of blood vessels inside. But don't worry, it doesn't hurt the baby at all. Come on, this is a very large egg. Can we get twins? How awesome would it be to get twins? Boom. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Pastel for sure. Firefly? Another firefly? See, I'm not sure how to identify the extreme gene, especially when they're still in the egg. I think I have a bit of an idea of how to do it once they come out and shed out, but right now it's really hard. You can see that blushed out head right there in the middle. Sorry if I was kind of off camera. I was kind of trying to peek at it with my eyes instead of through the lens. So there it is. Pretty cool. I'm laughing because I can hear the kids playing with their toys upstairs, and one of them is blowing a whistle. All right, I hope you guys don't hear it. I hope it's not too distracting. Let's get on with the last egg, get this over with so you guys can get back to your scheduled activities and not have to listen to all the background music that's going on. Another one. This one looks like a pastel, and I see a very prominent beginning of a neck stripe. I don't know if it continues or if it just stops. So hopefully it continues, and then we'll be able to conclude this one as a pastel extreme gene. Otherwise, I would probably just call it a pastel. Yeah, it doesn't look to be bright enough to be a firefly. So I'll give you another look at it. Hopefully these are all females, or majority females. My goal is a 1.3. But so far this season, I've been hitting mostly males, so that's not ideal in my situation, but hopefully my luck will change. All right, these are gonna go back into the incubator until they all crawl out, and I'll give you an update once they do. And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed my video on a budget tutorial, if we can call it that, as well as the egg cutting. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to this channel and you want to be informed of future uploads, make sure you're subscribed and hit that notification bell. As always, thanks for watching, please share, and I'll see you guys next time.